Now this is my screen. I believe you guys can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now take a look at my screen. Frank, I've answered your question, but let me quickly do a recap before I continue. I said the question Amaka asked is that if she wants to move that table to the right, how can she achieve that? So I said she can make use of float or flex to do that, not to the center, to the right. That was the question. Frank, is that clear?
Okay. Yes, but generally, I'm asking about float. Is it advisable to use float? Because I think float is quite complicated compared to margin. Is it not better someone just stick to margin instead of float that you have to clear? And if you fail to clear float, I guess it's going to mess up your code. That's what I'm asking, sir.
Now let me say this to you. It all depends on the understanding of the use of float. I can use float to design a complete website without having issues with it. That's why I say it all depends on the understanding, your usage. I've used float severally to design a site. So it is possible to use float. If you are talking about margin, now how do you move the content to the left using margin? If you are able to achieve it on your screen, it's actually, let's say you are trying to move that same table to your right hand side and you're able to achieve it with your own screen. What of if that same web page is being opened on another screen that is wider than your own? If that other person's screen is wider than your own screen, definitely that thing will not align to the left and to the right, which align to the right on your own screen. So there will be issue with it. Now, when you are designing, don't just assume what you see on your own screen is going to be perfect on other people's screen. Like the word auto now for margin, it means that irrespective of the screen, the screen size,
Yes.
determine the width automatically and position this thing at the center, irrespective of the screen size.
Okay. So I think we are trying to talk about the responsiveness of a web page or a website. So
It's not
I think I'm
only
right.
it's not only the responsiveness.
Okay.
That is not responsiveness. I'm talking about the width. You are working with a width. The width now, you are trying to move an object. You are moving an object to your right using margin.
Yes.
Now let me make it practical now. Let's go. Let's write some code so you will see what I'm saying.
Okay, sir.
Now this is H1. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. I will not use auto now. I want to move to the left. So I will say margin left. You understand what I'm saying now? Margin left. Then I will put, let's say 200 px. Now let's take a look at the screen. Let me bring it down. Let me give it a width. Let me give this thing a width. The width should be, let's give it a width of 300 px as well. Let's say 300 px. Now this is the box. Sorry. Now this is the box. And I say margin left. Let me increase it a bit. It's 500. So the text should be on a straight line. Sorry. Now this is the box. I want to move this box to the right. I now come and say, okay, I have margin left here to be 200. Now the meaning here is this. that it should actually apply a space of 200 here. It should give it a margin of 200 to the left. But I'm trying to move it to the right. So I need to come here by increasing this figure, let's say 500. Call it try by error. It's at the center here. I still go back again. I say, okay, 800 should be able to take it to the... It's not there yet. I still come back again. I now say 1,000, 1,000. I go there. It's not there yet. I still go back again. I say 1,3. Now, it's there, right? Frank, can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Now, this is what you're trying to say, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, it is there. The 1,300 that actually brought this thing to the right is based on my own screen that I'm working with here. If you open the same web page on your own screen, it will never be on this same spot. It's either it is inside, that means it will, if your screen is a small screen compared to my own, which is wide, the 1,003 may push it inside the screen. You will not even see the bless me. You may be seeing only God. And if your screen is wider than my own, it's either the God bless me will never get to the end of that screen. It should be at the center or somewhere close to the right. It's confusing or it's clear?
It's clear, I understand it.
So you putting a figure here as margin left, like what I have done, is based on the screen I'm working with here. That is not even responsiveness. We are only doing garbage in, garbage out. That is the meaning of what we are doing here. Garbage in, garbage out. We are putting a figure trying to calculate where that thing will get to. If I should open the same web page, which I just showed you now, on a different screen, it will never be on that right. It's either it is not it's not getting to the right hand side very well, or it's either it is entering inside the screen itself. That means some of the parts will be cut off. So this is not the best option to do this. If I want to do that now, I can say, okay, I can use, let me comment this. Like what you said, I can use float. Float. Then I say left and right, sorry. Now this is it. So if you open this on any screen, it will always be on your right. Even though the screen is smaller than my screen, it will always be on your right. If the screen is wider than my own screen, it will always be on your right, on the perfect position, right. So, and if you now want to actually, because anything that comes after this now will flow to the right. Is that not what you are saying, telling me?
Exactly, sir.
So the next thing you need to do is to clear your flows by coming and saying on that particular one that you want to do, clear, then you say both. Is that not it?
Yes, sir.
That is it. The word clear both means that clear the float, apply to the left, and clear the float, apply to the right. Don't worry, this is another topic. Don't mind me. If I keep talking, I will keep digging in the more. But what I want you to understand here is this. The margin left is not the solution to that. You may get it right with your screen, but if you put that same web page on a different screen, it will never be perfect as what you are seeing on your own screen. Have I answered that question?
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
All right. Now let's talk about the shadow that you lay emphasis on. You want the shadow to actually apply to the up and the down.
Yes.
Now, the only way to do that is still the same shadow. Let me bring this thing to the center. Let me comment this. Now, I have this. The shadow, I want shadow to apply to the up and the bottom. The only way you can do that is you come here, then you make this, which is the box shadow now. We're talking about the box shadow, to be 0. That is the up and this one applies to the left and the right. This applies to the up and the bottom. This is the opacity of the shadow. But the shadow will now come in not as thick as expected. Say, this is it. Can you see that? Frank?
Yes, I can see it.
So that is how to apply to the up and the bottom. If you still want to increase it, then you come to the opacity here to make it light or to make it deep. As you increase the number, the shadow fades. As you decrease the number, the shadow becomes compact. It becomes thick. I repeat, if you increase the value here, this area where that is highlighted, if you increase the value here from that, let's say 30 to 40 or 50, the shadow fades. It will fade off. It will spread. If you decrease, the shadow become more thick. Let's reduce it. Let's say 20. You see now, if I should increase it to, let's say 50, you see, it will spread the more. So the higher the number, the spread the shadow becomes. The shadow increases in spreading. The lower the number, the shadow becomes more thick. It becomes compact. It comes together. It becomes thick. So that is shadow. So you can apply it. So for me to be, the reason why I said if you want the shadow to come to the downside, to actually reflect at the bottom area, then you now come here to actually put a number, not a 0, like 10, then the shadow actually push down. You want it to go to the upside, you come here, instead of a whole number, then you make it a negative number, minus 10. It takes the shadow to the upside. The same thing applies here. You want the shadow to come to the left or to come to the right. You come here, it should not be a 0. Then you put a whole number there. Let's say 10. Now the shadow moves to the right. I want the shadow to move to the left. All you need to do is put a minus here as well. Then it goes to the left. The same thing applies to the text shadow. The difference is one is text, the other one is box. Any question to that?
Which one is applying to image? If you have an image, is it the box?
To what?
The image. If you want to give an image a shadow, is it the box that you apply the shadow?
If you are giving image a shadow, definitely the image has to be inside the container. Am I
right? Yes, let's say, yes, maybe a div or a nav.
Yes, definitely. So, if it is inside, then it is the box shadow that applies to it.
So what if it stands alone?
It's still the same box shadow, because if it stands alone, then it will be in form of a square or a rectangle. Am I right?
Yes, definitely.
So it already is having a built-in container that actually came with the photo.
Yes.
Exactly.
All right. Yes, sir. This box shadow or the text shadow is actually the opposite application of the margin and the padding, because the margin, the first value applies to up and down, while the second one applies to the right and the left. This one, the first value applies to the left and the right, while the other one applies to the up and down. Okay.
Yes.
Sir.
So the first one for the box shadow and the text shadow, the first number applies to the left and the right. The second figure applies to the up and the down. And the last one applies to the opacity. Why then finally, then the color that you want to use for the shadow. Any color can be applied for the shadow. You can use any color for the shadow. Unlike the padding, which is the first figure applies to the top. The second figure applies to the right. The third one applies to the bottom. The last one applies to the left. Now, I will tell you this. Don't memorize in coding. All you need to do is understand. If I should memorize, like the way you just mentioned the float, I will not be able to recall most of the things because I have so many things on my head in terms of coding. Is it to talk of JavaScript? Is it to talk of PHP, Python, and so on? But because I don't memorize codes, I always make my findings to understand it. It is when you understand the use of codes, then you'll be able to do more than expectation. You will do a lot because you'll be able to build different things if you understand what you are actually working with. But if you don't understand, if you memorize, you will be limited to some things. You'll not be able to do so many things. And that is how I train students. I don't teach students to memorize. Just understand it. And if you understand it, you will do more than exceedingly in anything you do when it comes to coding. And it will help you to actually grow your coding journey, because you are going to be you actually how will I put it, you will stand out among your equals in anything when it comes to coding. Understand. That is what you need to do. Box shadow, text shadow. Box shadow applies to box. Simple. There is no big grammar to actually buttress that. Box shadow applies to box. Text shadow applies to text. I repeat, box shadow applies to box. Text shadow applies to text. The same way, the first figure, the first value, that is the value for the box shadow, the first value applies to the left or the right. If it is to the right, it will be a whole number. If it is to the left, a negative number. You can jot down if you want to jot down. Then if it is to the top and the bottom, the second value applies to that. To the bottom, a whole number. To the top, a negative number. The third value applies to what? The opacity of the shadow. The opacity. How light or how fade or how thick, compact you want it to look like. Opacity of the shadow. Why the last value, which is the color for the shadow? Any color can be applied. Any color can be mentioned there. You can put any color. Black, red, blue, anyone. Now, I'm going to be rounding up. But before I round up, I will quickly introduce something to you guys, which you are going to do as your assignment. And this is it. Pay attention to this. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, see what you are going to do. What you are going to do is this. I'm going to introduce something now before the assignment. There is something we normally call a container. The container is something that is holding on to something. Container is just like the name, container, a box that is holding something else. And in HTML, we normally use the word div like this. And the div, this div, another name for this div is container. A normal name, another name. I'm talking about a layman language, English expression, English way of saying it, container. But in HTML, we call it div. Div is a container whereby you can put so many things inside. So this container now, if I want to style this container, all I need to do is to pick this container like this, and I will come here and I will do what? I will mention the container and open my declaration block. Let's say the width first. The width to be 300 px. The height of the container. The height of the container. The height of the container to be, let's say, 300 px. Then I'll give it a background color. Let's say red. Let's take a look at the screen. Then I have this. This is the container that I just created now. Now, inside that container, I can decide to create something inside. I can put my text like this one inside the container. That means this container is holding on to the H1 tag. So if I come here now to say, the reason why it's not working is because the width of this is, I think, is longer than this. Let's say 300 and this one is 500. So definitely is wider than the container that we created here. Let me reduce the size of this to, let's say, 200. Now, this is it. Let me remove the margin to the top. Let me just make it 50. Now, this is the container. It's inside this container. That's the text is inside here. I can do other things again by coming to this container to create another word, another thing inside it again. Like paragraph. Let's say paragraph. Lauren. Who is there that wants to join? Let's see. Now, inside this container now, let's say Lauren of 10, like this. And let's check the container. It's outside the container. Reason why is because of space. All I need to do is just to, let me reduce this text to, that font size is 72. Let me just make it to be 28. So now the text is inside it. So I have the first text. Let me increase it. And let me remove the margin at the top. So now I have the text inside this. I have another write-up inside this, which is the paragraph. Now this is the container. This is a div. This container can hold multiple elements. That is where I'm going to. This container can hold multiple elements. I can decide to put a picture inside this container as well. Let's go ahead. Let's see if I have a picture on the system and grab. Let me grab one. If I do, you say img, the source. Don't have a picture here. Let's see. Okay, I have a picture here. Okay, the picture is zoom this. This picture should be wider than the container, but we're going to resize it. Yes, the picture is wider than the container. So all I need to do is just to reduce the size of the picture. Let me do that from the HTML to save time. Width of the picture, sorry, let's say the width of the picture should be 50 px. That should fit into the, now this is the picture. It's inside the container. Let's increase it to 150. It's too small. Fine. So the picture is there. The write-up is there. This is the H1. This is the paragraph. This is the picture. I can decide to put table again inside that same container. As I said, it's a box. The div is regarded as a box holding multiple elements. That is what it does. Then again, let's say the table tag. Okay, table tr td like this. I should have that. Then I have border. Then here, let's say I have serial number and I have name here. Let's see the table inside that same container. So the container is actually a box that can hold so many items, multiple items. I think Oyinola asked this question earlier, some times ago, if I remember, that I think you said you came across something called div, that what is div used for? Oyinola, unmute yourself. Oyinola, are you there? Okay, Oyinola is not there. Now let's continue. So that is a container. So this container now, I can do so many things by putting so many things inside the container and so on and so forth.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Hello? Okay. Now, the assignment is this. The assignment is this. The table that you guys created, the table you created, you are going to put that table inside a container. Put the table inside a container. Assignment now. Assignment. The table that you have, the table that you have with you, or the table you created, put it inside a container. Titled overall container. Inside that same container, add a form. I've taught you form. Add a form. A form underneath the table. Add a form underneath the table. Add a form underneath the table. The form should have a search input bar with a submit button. With a submit button. Inside the search, bar, add a text. Add a text titled type to search. This text must disappear immediately the user commence typing. Now, please mute your mic. Hello, mute your mic, please. Okay. Then the search bar should have a shadow. Should have a shadow. The search bar should have a shadow. Yes. The search bar should have a shadow. Then the right up, the text on the submit button. The text on the submit button. The text on the submit button should be search. The text on the submit button should be search, and on the text on the submit button should also have a shadow. The text on the submit button should have a shadow, should have a shadow. Now, this is the assignment. Any question to this? Any question? Any question? Amaka, Frank, and Blessing.
I'm not sure yet, sir.
But you understand the question?
Yes, but you're not done writing it, sir.
I'm done.
No, okay, we are not done copying it. Okay, I'm not done copying it.
Okay, so let me leave it for you guys to copy.
Yes,
I believe you
that's
can see
for
it.
like 2 minutes. Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead and copy the assignment.
Yes.
Blessing, are you there?
I'm here, sir.
Okay, go ahead to copy the assignment. Oh, there's something I see here. The table you created, put it inside a container. Okay, let me remove the title. I've not taught you this. For those that are still new, Just put it inside a container. Remove the title overall container. I will teach you that in the next class. The table you created, put it inside a container. Inside same container, add a form underneath the table. Okay. Put it inside a container and give the container a color of, let's say, so that you'll be able to see the container. A color container and add a color to the container so that it will stand out. Add a color of lemon, hexadecimal, lemon using hexadecimal. Using hexadecimal color code. So the table you created, that means the table you already have, put it inside a container and add a color of lemon using hexadecimal color code. Then inside that same container, add a form underneath the table. That means the form and the table will be together inside the container. Then the form should have search input bar with a submit button. That means the submit button should be having what? Search as the write-up. Inside the search bar, add a text titled, type to search. This text must disappear immediately the user commences typing. The search bar should have a shadow. The text, which is the search, on the submit button should also have a shadow. Is it clear now? Or you are still writing? Are you guys still writing? Okay, Amaka.
Yes, sorry, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Please, can I see the view of what you just did? Network really dealt with me today.
Okay.
Not just, sir.
Is it this one? Is it the assignment? The assignment,
Yeah,
right?
No. As in the browser of what we did today.
Okay.
Hope you upload the video.
This is it. Can you see that?
Okay. Yeah.
This is what we did.
But in assignment, sir, you said that we should add form. Which of the form are you talking about?
I've taught you form now.
Okay, the other one, the previous one we did.
Yes, I'm just adding to this.
Okay.
So you guys
but you didn't give us a specific test and the specific form names we use. Like is it name, surname, date, and the particular ones we should use, or we should use anyone.
Just use an input tag, text field. Okay. That someone can actually type in to search. Do you get that?
The form you're talking about, is it just one about as an only search on?
It's only for search now. Only search and submit.
Okay.
Underneath the table.
Okay.
Just as if you have a table whereby you can actually type in to search information from the table.
Okay. Now I understand. I thought it's to list the labels and inputs.
No, just one single text field and one submit button.
Okay.
Is it clear now?
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
All right then. Okay. Who again? You have a question? We are rounding up. No question. Frank, is it clear?
It's clear. It's clear.
Okay. And I believe
It
you've
is clear.
actually you've copied the assignment,
Please,
right?
sir. Please, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. But, sir, since I didn't attend yesterday class, is there a way I can get the assignment of yesterday on?
Yes, I will. I think I snap and I posted it. It's on the group. Yes, check.
Okay, I'll check
I
it.
snap and I posted it as well. Okay.
Okay.
I've come to the end of today's class, and I will see you guys next week, Saturday. I remain Johnson Akins from Femtech Computer Institute, whereby we offer so many courses like that. If you have any question, you can actually call or WhatsApp is 081 38 36 73 73. Again, it's 081 38 36 73 73. Thank you and remain blessed. Bye for now.